Hey y'all, happy Tuesday, Team Tuesday. Loving some testimonies every Tuesday right here on our community. What I love about this and what so many people love about it is the value that you get. So one, you can always find recipes. Two, you can learn more about your products. Three, you hear amazing stories and you get real advice. Y'all, that's what a community is about. So I'm loving us bringing the product information on Wednesdays so that you get really start to understand what your products do and hearing some great stories on Tuesday. Let me grab my friend. Well, okay, so while she's coming on, hey y'all, are you watching Live or Memorex? Hey Kelly, and it's so
Hey,
funny. We have the same brick.
I know. I love it.
We talked about that one time on it was
A
something else.
Zoom.
We were on a
Yep.
Zoom and it's like we're both outside. It's like we have the same brick. I love my brick. So
Yes.
oh gosh. Well, I was just telling them that I love just the value add that we do on this page, from the recipes to the advice to the product knowledge that we've been giving. But I'm also really enjoying them getting to hear from real people that why they started, what's happened to them, and some tips. And so thank you. I call this Team Testimony Tuesday, but y'all, I'm gonna tell you, Kelly's not on my team. She's not somebody that enrolled directly with me or with one of my friends like Debbie or Carol or anything like that. But we are such good friends. She's what we would call a sister line to me, meaning she loves this company and we like each other. So here we are. So I consider her team, and trust me, I would take her any day.
Aw, thank you.
So thank you for joining, Kelly. I'm so excited, and your hair looks
Thank
wonderful.
you. I
Have
couldn't
you
do
seen
that
any
during.
changes with collagen? A little sidebar real quick, because you have such, like, I know I have so much and so much thicker, but like I started with different hair than you did. And so just since you had hair day today, talk to us a little bit about that, but then go back, where were you at before you started this? Like, what was going on? How did you feel? What was the scenario? Because they don't know. I know, but they don't know.
Right. Well, thanks again for having me. Well, first off, I wouldn't be doing this on a Tuesday at 3:47 p.m. because I'd still have another 3 hours of work.
Me too. And I wouldn't be
So, I
doing
mean,
this either,
yeah,
period.
I
So I love that you said that. That's super crucial, that we get to do some things differently because these products work and because we've shared that with other people.
Yes, absolutely. And I mean, just like today, I was able to go and get my hair blow dried in the middle of the day, and that would have never happened, back when I was working 60 plus hours a week. So,
Yeah.
and that brings me into that. So before I started Xyngular for the products. I was working 60 plus hours a week. I was a manager, tons of stress, fast food eating, eating at my desk, walking down the hallway, grabbing a snack when I could. And it was hard. It was hard mentally, physically, and I mean, I was young and I still just felt like sitting on my butt all day in my chair at work was not helping me. And so, needless to say, my husband's a pharmacist. And so he got laid off from his pharmacy position at a retail pharmacy. So we decided we were going to open our own pharmacy, and we did. And so with that came a lot more stress and stress eating and fast food and all the things that come along with that. And so we both gained a lot of weight. And so his pharmacy professor had actually talked to us about the business side of this for 4 years. And we were in a different place then. He was going through pharmacy school. I was working so much. It just wasn't on our radar at the
Yeah.
time. But what happened was when we gained all that weight, we knew who to reach out to. And so we had reached out to her and we said, okay, we're ready to lose this weight. We're ready to feel better. We see what you're doing. We see how you're maintaining the weight that you've lost. We're ready. So we came in, I purchased, oh, go
Can
ahead.
I ask you a question real quick about that? Because that's how you started. Just like
Yes.
I started with Melissa, because I saw her
Yes.
sharing on Facebook. We were both in banking. I trusted her.
Yeah.
How did the relationship with Casey and the fact that they're both
Hmm.
pharmacists lean into your, I don't have any questions, if this is good for her, it's good for us?
Right.
Like, how did that, because I think a lot of people, like, they look and they have all these, like, I call them smoke screen
Hmm.
reasons in the back of their minds,
Right.
but here you are, you were a corporate manager,
Mhm.
and he is a
Right.
pharmacist, and y'all came in like super quick when your time was right.
It
So
was.
I think people sharing and those relationships do matter. So talk, did that factor, or y'all just like, we'll buy anything from anybody?
No, definitely not. Because Chris is such an ingredients person, being a pharmacist, that, I mean, you'll go to the doctor, your doctor will prescribe this, this, and this, but it's the pharmacist who checks what is the ingredients and to make sure you're okay to take all these medications or supplements, right? I
I
mean,
say that all the
Chris,
time. People say, I'm going to ask my doctor. And I'm like, you need to ask your pharmacist. Your doctor literally does not know.
no, and
Your
I'm not trying to
pharmacist
knock,
is who you
right?
ask. Thank you
Yes,
for saying that. No, I feel
and I
validated.
mean,
Thank you, Kelly.
yeah, and I mean, Chris is a doctor of pharmacy, my
Exactly.
husband. And so, I utilized that and his knowledge, and with him learning from Casey. So, Casey was, there's a specific name for the teacher she was, but she was pretty much the ingredients teacher
Yep.
at his college going through pharmacy school. So, for him to say, if she's doing this and she believes in this, he said, I think we look at the ingredients, I look at it, I see what it is, and we roll with it. So she sent us all the ingredients for the products and things. He looked over it. He said, I'm sold. He said, these are good ingredients. These are all natural. I don't see them interacting with things. These are great. And so anyway, yeah, and that was how we were sold on it. We were excited about it because we knew they were good products, not just somebody trying to sell you anything where, oh my gosh, my heart's going to pop out of my chest,
Exactly. When
and
people
so,
say, oh, I can't take diet pills, they've taken some sort of filler that is high on excessive
yes.
synthetic caffeine
Hmm.
as a miracle pill. It is not the same as what we
No,
do. So I love that you said that. Now, remind me, and I think I know, but I don't misstate. Did you grab your link when you ordered, or did you upgrade? Because I think you got it immediately, right?
I did.
Okay.
I did, just because I'm one of those people, I'm go big or go home. And I was like, well, if I'm going to start losing weight, I'm not going to be able to lie to people about what I'm doing. I want to go ahead and tell people. And that's great if we make some money and make some money back on the kits that we just purchased and all that. That was the biggest thing that I joined for. Well, then it started coming into, wow, we have results. Wow, we're making this money, and we love to travel, and so we were going to hold all
Yes, you
that
do.
money and and just use it for traveling. And then once I started earning the free trips for Chris and I, then it was like, oh my gosh, we have all this extra money that is just kind of building up here, from me just telling people about these amazing products and Chris telling people about these amazing products, and it exploded from there, and we still love the products. We take them daily. I mean, especially with the GLPX, he is a huge believer in that because he saw so many people come in with things that happen off the synthetics that if somebody can do something natural, it's definitely the way to go. So we're big advocates on that now too.
I love it. And and I remember talking with Chris, gosh, I want to say we were in Mexico because but it wasn't Cabo. I think it was the time before. Um, we've been so many places I can't remember
I
now.
know.
But I remember we sat at like that little pizza place late at night, and
Oh,
we just like we
Dominican. I think
talked and talked
it
and
was the
talked and talked.
Dominican. Hmm.
And that was really the first time I'd
Hmm.
gotten to talk to him for an
Hmm.
extended period of time. And of course, I met you before you lost your corporate job, and we should
Yes.
talk about that.
Hmm.
Anyway, we were talking about like the ingredients and like just how much he loved it, and not nuts and bolts, because like I'm like most customers, I'm like, eh, I said it's good. It must be good. Like, I don't need to know all the rest of that. And when people say they want to know, smoke screen, smoke screen. Majority of people, they don't need to ask their husband and they don't need to ask their doctor.
Right.
It's a kind way to say, I'm not going to buy your stuff today, Kelly.
Yeah.
I know that from all my 29 years of training. And so, but when we talked about stuff like that, and then fast forward when we released, which it was right around that time when we released the probiotic,
Hmm.
and that's when it clicked in my mind, listening to him talk about why ours is like there's nothing he can give somebody that's better. That's when it really clicked. That's the pharmacist you talk to.
Hmm.
It's not the doctor about your
Right.
medicines.
Right.
And then I saw that with my mother when a pharmacy a guy that goes to our church, said, why is she taking that? And I said, for this. And he said, that doesn't do that. That's not what it does. It's cheaper than the other one, but that's not what it does. So let's go back and talk about, you were in corporate America, just like me. Now you're not as old as me, so you hadn't been there as long as I have. But when I met you, you were employed, and that didn't last very long. So talk through, because you had started this, how did that impact that transition for you? Because you're not the only one. I've got one of my
Right.
best friends that ended up having to go through the same sort of a transition. And but what was your experience?
Well, so I started in May of 2020. And so I met you, I think around November
It was November.
2020. And everything was kind of iffy, with the job. We had moved over here to Oklahoma from Arkansas for my job. And so I started here in January of 2020 with my job. And so things were just up in the air and I just didn't feel very confident, but I didn't sit there and realize that this could have been what it is now. It took me getting laid off in February of 21 and driving home that day, and I called my husband and I said, I've been laid off. And he's like, wow, isn't it a godsend that you actually have Xyngular right now? And I'm like, oh my gosh, it is. He was like, I would just get home and start working on that. And I'm sitting there the rest of the way home and I'm like, this is what I've been praying for. These little things come into your life at the right time. Now, remember, 4 years I said no to the business opportunity for this.
Yeah.
And it all happened, and I've been able to not go back to a corporate job. I've been able to do this every day, help my husband start another pharmacy here in Oklahoma. We're able to travel when we want to. I don't have to request for days off. I can come and go as I please. If I want to sleep till 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock in the morning, I sure as heck can do it now instead of getting up at 4:45 and getting ready for work. And those are the things that mean more to me because I am taking back so much time off my life, those 13 years that I worked for somebody else, and now I'm able to work for myself.
Yeah.
And it is night and day. And I don't think people realize that until they actually are able to do it.
Exactly.
And the opportunity is there for everybody. It's just people have to be ready for it. They have to be ready and willing to listen and just be ready to roll with it because it is fun. It's super, interactive. I mean, we get to do fun things like this, and then we get to go to conferences and we get to go on trips, and it's just the whole shebang. So I'm excited about it, and I think it was a blessing in disguise that I said yes to myself.
I love it. I think that one reason why like your story like strikes me so much, and mine probably yours, is because we both do have professional backgrounds. We really thought that's where we're going to be, but we found everything we ever didn't know we could have actually doing this.
Yes.
And then helping other people be super successful, right? So I love that because we have a lot of people, they start on product, they buy one or two products, they stay forever, they love it, they may tell a friend, but they're not trying to get time freedom. They're not trying to have a plan B so that if they lose their job in corporate America like you did, and I could have if I was still there, I was able to leave almost right at 7 years ago before they started laying off people in my position because I was turning around and helping other people build a business without overhead. My background's banking. It costs a fortune to have a business, y'all. There's a lot of liability. Kelly owns one. So, okay, y'all own one. Got 2 locations. So what is your annual and monthly cost to be a partner? What does it cost if you want to make money? Not just I have a link, if somebody buys, I get paid one time for the necklace. But if you wanted to actually have recurring income like you and I, what's your annual cost? And what does it cost you monthly? And what do you have to buy monthly?
So, annually, $49.95.
$49.95 to be clear.
Yes.
Okay.
$49.95. I can tell you that our business loans for the pharmacies are not that.
Exactly. And even the monthly. So I probably spend about $200 a month on the stuff that helped me get off migraines, the stuff that helps me not have hot flashes, the stuff that has kept my digestion and some stuff like that rolling. That is literally all that I buy on my account. And I was able to leave corporate America, and that's my buy-in. Like,
Yes.
that's my buy. I mean, like, I'm not paying $600, $700 a month. Um, so just a true or false question. Is it true or false that to own a business, it is more expensive than to have a Xyngular link?
Oh gosh. True, 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 true.
I know, it's great.
Yes.
So you've had some great results too.
Yes.
So tell us inches, pounds, you or Chris. I mean, I never really saw, like, I've not seen a lot of pictures of Chris, so I couldn't even told you whether he used, I mean, I know he used wellness products, but I couldn't even
Mhm.
told you that he had gained some weight and y'all kind of lost it together. Somehow or another, I've missed that picture over the course of time. But what have been y'all's results? And then if you could tell one person that truly wants to be successful with their own wellness or weight loss journey, what would be one or two of your biggest tips?
Okay. Yeah. So when we first started, Chris lost 28
Oh,
pounds.
wow.
And so he's kept that off since we started. And then I lost a total of 45 pounds in the first 6 months when we started. I've maintained that. And then when our gut collective products came out and I added those in for my digestion, I have stage 4 endometriosis. And so I've had to deal with a lot of digestion issues due to that. And so when the gut collective came out, it was a total different. I mean, the inches, I think total now I've calculated it and it's 46 inches all over my body that I've lost
Oh,
in
wow.
four
That's
in
awesome.
4 years. Yeah. Now, and that's one thing that I want to say to people. I can't compare. One of my best friends started with me the same time I did, and she was down 50 pounds, like in a matter of like this. My inches were falling off a lot faster. And for most people, it's going to work differently. And so that's why people, they rely on the scale so dang much. And it's like, don't rely on that scale because if your body is losing inches and you're feeling good in your clothes and it's working, everybody's body's different. And that is something that Chris, my husband, had to tell me thousands of times. He was like, my body obviously is going to lose weight like this. And even with the GLP-X, he had it on the GLP-X and lost 12 pounds in a month on it.
Absolutely.
I mean, so, but for each person, depending on underlying conditions, your metabolism, your hormones, anything, you're going to have either a really fast or a really slow, but take it in strides, enjoy it, and I mean, you're going to have ups and downs and bumps and stress and life and things, but hey, we got products that help with that. But, I mean, there's things that are going to come up in your life. And it's how you respond to it. And we
Exactly.
have the tools to help you. And that is another thing that I'll answer that too. For the second takeaway is consistency. The biggest thing and I should have just had Chris come on here and tell you everything because I get a lot of things from him. But the doctor is going to prescribe somebody something. And they don't cold turkey get off of that because, hey, I got sick this week. Or, hey, I'm going to my, son's basketball tournament this weekend. Supplements are the same thing. Supplements you stick with no matter what. If you are sick, continue with them. If you are going out of town, continue with them.
That
That is
is that is one of the most profound things that I've ever heard, because you know how it clicks and it said a different, I say it all the time. It's like, well, and I had a lady earlier, she said, well, I kind of fell off the wagon. We ate with my son 2 days ago.
Mhm.
That was a meal. Did
Right,
you take your supplements?
right,
Did
right.
you, like, whatever? But to put it in those
Mhm,
terms, like even me, I struggled with migraines for 15 years. Two
mhm.
different medicines, change in and
Yes,
out, still
yes.
had them, went on vacation,
Yeah,
worked, cried, fired people,
mhm.
hired people. I still took them,
Right,
even though they didn't
right,
work. Same
right.
thing with allergy medicine. Took two allergy
Yes,
medicines,
yes.
had allergies every single day. Like I would be snotty right now if you shook
Right.
my hands before this. No matter what was going on, I still took them.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they weren't helping, I was still taking them.
Yes.
So, Kelly, I think that is, as far as product, helping the customer understand the gravity of
Mm-hmm.
it. I think that is one of the best pieces of information that we have ever shared with this group. Like,
Yeah. I mean, it's just
girl,
one of those things
you're
that
gonna get a gift.
no, but it's
Like
just
that was
it's
free for
just
y'all today, but that made me happy because that like is literally the picture that we're trying to paint.
Right.
But it's the same thing when it comes to the income of the business.
Oh, yeah.
If you have company come to town, you still got to go to work, whether you work at Walmart or the bank.
Yes. Yeah.
If you have a cold, you probably still have to go to work.
Yes.
If you had a fingernail appointment, you still have to go to work. If your toe hurts, you still have to go. But what
Yes.
people do that say that they actually need to make a financial difference in their life is if the wind is blowing, it's going to have to wait till tomorrow. Just like with your wellness goal,
Yeah.
you're not getting
No.
anywhere because the wind is going to blow.
Right.
The fingernails are going to have to be done.
Mhm.
The kid's going to have a basketball
Right.
game. It's how you build in the consistency of things that are important and matter to you.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, Kelly, that was worth the price of admission. I'm glad I tuned in. Thanks for having me. We should go on the road, Kelly.
Let's do it.
Well, thank you for joining today. I appreciate it. That was amazing. I have been turning these to YouTube.
Oh, awesome.
So I will also get you a copy of your interview.
Well, sounds great.
So thanks
Well,
for
I
giving
appreciate it.
back
Thanks for
to
having me.
our valuable community. There's going to be different nuggets in here that when somebody's struggling, somebody will go, I remember when Kelly and Jana talked about consistency,
Mhm.
and exactly what Kelly said is what my new girl or my best friend needs to hear. So thank you for being a part of our team today.
Yeah. Thank you for having
All
me.
right. Hey, and I'll see you soon.
Sounds good.
All right. Bye, girl.
Bye.